Welcome to the Super Speedway.
Well, welcome to episode 388 of the Super Speedway podcast, recorded Monday, February 9th, 2026. I'm your host, Eric Young, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, James Cush. No, I don't have some audio processing filter or something tonight. I am sick. James apparently made me sick through the microphone, despite the fact we hadn't seen each other in person.
That was the joke I was going to use. And stole it right out from under me.
I mean, it might sound like we're in a room together, but we're, 15, 20 minutes away from each other when we record this episode?
Yeah, something like that. Although I did see you in person for the first time.
We did see each other in person, but I was already sick at that point. So
yeah, so it wasn't me. So.
Yeah. No, my wife was sick last week, and I knew I was going to come down with it. And
it's always
sure
the wife's
enough,
fault.
Yeah. So tonight it would be me muting at random times and trying not. If James makes me laugh, which he will, because we always make each other laugh, I'll probably start hacking. So I apologize in advance for all of that. But yeah, James,
we're gonna make it.
How are you doing? And
I'm starting to get better. I mean, right before we recorded, I was coughing just to get it out of my system. But I think I'm okay. So yeah,
good deal.
Tired, a little woozy from the I guess the marathon that was Bowman Gray.
Well,
over the week, and then the Super Bowl. So
well, I can tell you that if you wanted to solve that issue, you could have just watched it delayed, and then you didn't have to watch the second half of the race.
Oh my God, I had a feeling we were going to get here sooner rather than later.
Well, I don't want to get into it too deep because it's featured a little later in the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so well, obviously we were supposed to record last week to rehash the Clash, and we didn't have a Clash to rehash, so we could have. There was some debate. I don't know how much debate James had, but I had a little bit of debate saying, hey, let's just record Monday. We'll do our season preview, and then we'll do the Clash recap next week. But so Monday night, James, is the night at 7:00 on Monday is when the shift goes for iRacing from last week's tracks to this week's tracks. And I was like, you know what? I can race some races tonight now. We're not doing the podcast. So I'm like, no, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut and get some races in. And it's a good week on iRacing this week. Just saying. Really good week.
Oh, yeah.
Good tracks on iRacing.
We definitely a good week for it.
Yeah. So anyway, the Clash did eventually happen Wednesday night. We won't go too deep into it because at this point, I'm sure everybody's seen everything and heard everything and knows everything and whatever. But we definitely want to share our thoughts on it. So I thought it interesting in the radioactive how much Ryan Preece hated this race until suddenly he realized he could potentially win it.
Yeah.
Suddenly it was really important to him at the end when he won, but during the race he was pretty much poo-pooing on the thing, saying it was stupid that they were doing it. But Ryan Preece gets his first NASCAR Cup Series win. Although, as other drivers will tell you, it's not an official. Michael Waltrip will tell you it's not an official win because it's an exhibition race.
Right.
But still, Ryan Preece in victory lane. What do we think of that performance to start out with, James?
Hey man, Ryan Preece has a trophy.
Yeah.
So Denny Hamlin and Jeff Gordon had trophies before they won their first races too. So it counts in some way.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I can't really sugarcoat it too much. That was not a fun night. And it was not a fun weekend, I should say. We didn't get what we wanted.
No.
We had to get that thing in and get the heck out of town was really what it came down to at the end. But I did think that trying to race in the sleet and snow for a little bit was kind of a fun wrinkle. I don't know if we'll ever see that again, or it might be a while before we see that again. So that was kind of cool. And then some of the racing when the track was dry, I thought the racing wasn't too bad. Because you had Larson kind of coming and going. The JGR cars seemed to have better long run speed. That actually looked a little bit like Martinsville to me, just a little bit. Old Martinsville, I guess. But then once the rain came and the sleet and snow, it was more of a survival. Who's gonna survive all the cautions? It just seemed like a little bit of a mess. I didn't think it was our best. It wasn't our best day. I'll say that.
Yeah. Due to watching the race delayed and the fact that it was the network was switched 3/4 of the way through the race, I did not watch most of the actual crap show of the race because by the time it went off, they were 25 laps into the second half, maybe.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see much of it. I just saw a little bit in highlights. And of course, NASCAR conveniently didn't air a lot of those highlights during their highlight package. So a lot of my opinions on that are going to be based on other podcasts and just my understanding of what happened there. But I will say the first half of the race, I agree. It was good. It wasn't a barn burner, but it was heading that direction. Like you could see if it would have stayed dry, I think we could have seen some of the action, some of the excitement, some of the craziness of Bowman Gray without the ridiculousness that we ended up with because of the weather. And I don't fault anybody for the ridiculousness because, like you said, I mean, this was a race that was supposed to run 3 days earlier. You got teams that need to get out of there to get Daytona stuff ready. It's an exhibition race. It really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. There was talk of running this race without fans on the backstretch at Daytona at one point. So we just, at that point, it's like, we just got to get this sucker done. And I'll tell you what, James, if this would have happened 5-6 years ago, that race would have ended at halfway. And you want to talk about being disappointed with what it became. How disappointed would you have been if you only got 100 laps at Bowman Gray?
Right.
Like that would have sucked. So the fact that NASCAR can put the wet weather tires on and try something. I know I listened to a little bit of the teardown today, their post race coverage of it. And, they were talking a little bit about NASCAR's indecisiveness still and unwillingness to just say, you guys, here's your deal, figure it out. And I agree with that. I think NASCAR needs to take the kid gloves off and just let the teams do what they need to do. But again, we wouldn't have had any of this. We would have had 100 laps of riding around, basically waiting for the caution to start racing. And that would have been it. So I'm thrilled with what we got. And Ryan Preece won a freak show, but he still won a race. And also,
and everybody else could have won that race too.
He's a guy that you think probably has a pretty good chance at Bowman Gray, a track that runs, has a modified history and a modified driver winning there. I mean,
he's raced there before, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he said that as
exactly.
much. He's won races there. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah. So, but I can't fault anybody for the cluster that it became because it was still better than the alternative.
Yeah. There was exactly. And there's nothing you could do. And I know like
weather sucks.
Yeah. And you don't want to, you don't want to watch an event and be like, man, we got to get this over with. But with the added pressure of the 3-day layoff and trying to get that place clear and all the work that went into it. And then, man, now we have more weather coming in. It's like, man, we got to get out of here. Unfortunately, that's the feeling that I was like, kind of left with. And then I thought too, like all the cautions and, the wet weather stuff made it really choppy. And part of me was thinking, man, if there was fans, who turned in to watch this for the first time or, were interested, this is just not a good product. And it's, again, it's not NASCAR's fault. It's nobody who was at the tracks, nobody's fault. It's just this weather was just a disaster and it just was not going to let up. It was just relentless. And sometimes you just can't win even for trying and trying as hard as you can.
It's really easy to say that this should be predictable, that the race is going to be cold. But you don't predict, feet of snow in an area that hasn't had that much snow in 30 years.
Oh yeah. I mean, shoot, I was joking that they could, run the race up here. Well, bring it, we have all that snow too. So come on up. We'll find a place for you.
Yeah, we had less of it than they did.
Oh my God. Well, in that period of time, we definitely did.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, even in the sleet and the rain though, I still thought there was some interesting pieces like Briscoe and the other, I guess most of the other drivers. Briscoe was leading at the time, but they were hunting a line, which was kind of fun. And to see those cars come off the bottom at Bowman Gray, I thought that was pretty interesting. But that was like
they used asphalt that's never been used there.
Yeah, and I was like, this is like nerd, racing nerd stuff. Like only, people who watch as much racing as we do are gonna catch that. But I thought that was kind of cool too, to see them kind of hunting for where those tires were going to perform the best.
Well, there was a point where before it started raining where they're running under caution and some of that snow is starting to melt and the weepers are running down underneath the safer barriers and starting to get the corners wet. and you see the tire tracks going through, and I'm thinking like that NASCAR is probably going to throw the caution and get rid of these weepers, and I'm thinking instead they should just get hoses out there and just spray the corners down. Well, Mother Nature took care of that.
Missed it off a little bit.
I mean, if you're going to have a race like that, have it at a track first of all that your top speed's like 43 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And have it in an exhibition race. It doesn't matter.
Did you see the stat that this was the slowest race NASCAR's ever run?
No, but it doesn't.
And I don't
surprise
know.
me.
I can't verify that because I didn't I didn't do my research on it. But I do know the speed of the race was just over 21 miles per hour if you include all the cautions. So I'm like, wow, that's something. Do you think about it that way?
That's
21 miles an hour. Yeah. So, and that's, I guess.
Average speed 21.39 miles per hour.
And we've had races in a football stadium at the Coliseum. So yeah, that was an interesting one.
So James, several years ago, we used to run this race at Daytona on the super speedway, and we had a couple crash fests out there. We had a race that Eric Jones won that looked like his car was in a demolition derby. Everybody lost their minds and said, we got to stop doing this. This is just stupid. This isn't what NASCAR should be. So they said, you know what? Let's do it on the road course. So they ran it on the road course at Daytona. And the fans didn't like that. They're like, let's do something different. And then they took it to Los Angeles and put it in the Coliseum. And the fans were like, this is cool, but why are we building a track in a stadium in a Coliseum out here when we have a track around a football field in North Carolina that we can just run it at Bowman? Why are we running at Bowman Gray? And finally NASCAR says, you know what? You guys are right. Let's just race it at Bowman Gray. And
let's
then
just try again.
The second year at Bowman Gray, everybody's like, we need to go back to Daytona. What in the hell, dude? What is going on with this crap?
I don't even. I'm to the point now where I wanna try Bowman Gray again. I want to see what we can do with good weather. However, if we did the pole winners and we ran 20 laps at Daytona, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I wouldn't be like it's the worst thing ever.
It's just not gonna fit. You can't.
Well, I think
how do you get people excited? How do you get teams excited? How do you get sponsors excited for 20 laps?
Well, and I think the problem that I've been having, and I've voiced this over the last couple of years, and I think it's getting more and more true. The excitement of speed weeks is really feeling interrupted because of the Super Bowl being in between the racing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're moving this thing around. And I really just think that the Clash might be better served as just a celebration of getting everybody together for Daytona. And maybe we just have this fun little 20-lap race, and maybe it's not a wreck fest if it's a small field and 20-lap race.
So I mean, here's the question. So everybody says the Clash was the appetizer for Daytona. It's what got everybody excited about Daytona, right? That's Dale Earnhardt Jr. He says that's why the Clash was special. Do we need that?
I think.
Does the Indianapolis 500 have an appetizer?
Yes.
What?
Carb month or whatever the heck they do.
Not really, though.
Eric, they are at Indianapolis.
I understand that. But
okay.
I think this race is fine. I don't think it needs to be before Daytona. Why don't we start our season with the Super Bowl? Let's just start with the Daytona 500.
That's fine. But
the duels are the appetizer because the duels don't mean anything anymore.
I fondly remember we would go into the off season, and then we would have preseason Thunder, and then we roll into Daytona.
But people aren't calling for that stuff anymore.
Why? That's fine. But don't all these TV partners need a good TV product? Can't we? I feel like we could.
I mean, Fox doesn't. They took it off the air.
Fox has the Masked Singer. They don't need
exactly.
Are we already mad at Fox? Already? Oh man,
yeah, it doesn't usually take much.
I know. I don't know. Like I said, I am totally fine if we try Bowman Gray again. I have no problem with that.
I'm not saying get rid of this race. I just think it doesn't need to be at the beginning of the season. I think it can fit in somewhere else. And I realize that we also don't have a ton of off weekends that we could run in the middle of the season. So that's something too. But I don't think this race needs to be in the middle before the Daytona 500.
We're going to run into another issue, too, that is going to rear up next year, and that's the Super Bowl being on Valentine's weekend next year.
Yeah.
It is pushing back again.
Yep.
And that's even before the NFL hasn't even changed their schedule or anything. And I'm wondering next year how that's going to work, because NASCAR has obviously been trying to avoid the Super Bowl for the last few years, and it's definitely a worry spot for them. So with the Super Bowl going back a week, is the Daytona 500 going to go back a week, or is it going to go up a week? Because you could go either way at that point.
Well, in that case, start the season somewhere else and make the Daytona 500 a week later. And
Well, do you run the 500? If I'm not mistaken, I think the Super Bowl's on I think it's on the 14th. So do you run the 500 on the 7th? That's a pretty early start to the season.
No.
I don't know.
I don't think the Daytona 500 needs, I know this is contradicting my argument just a second ago, but it also doesn't need to be the first race of the year. The Daytona 500 can run at any point in the year and be special. It's the Daytona 500.
I think
it wasn't always the first race of the year.
Right, but I think we've become accustomed to it being the start of the season.
Become accustomed to a lot of things, but we've changed a lot of stuff too.
Yes, I understand, but if you, Eric,
if you're gonna move the date around for the NFL, then you're gonna have to make a compromise somewhere.
If the points season doesn't start with the Daytona 500, I would like to pump the brakes here. Fans are going to be mad.
Well, then you're going to have to figure something out, because they're not going to be able to run the same weekend as the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. Do you move the Daytona 500 up, and then you can't run the Clash in January at Bowman Gray? You can't do it.
No.
If the Clash is if the Clash is always going to be in front of the Daytona 500, maybe it needs to be in Florida.
Yeah.
Or California.
Well, I mean, you could also go down the road where there's a huge racing week going on right now. Speed Weeks is still happening in Daytona. It's just not, or in Florida. It's just not at Daytona. It's down at New Smyrna. Right. And you could certainly run the Clash there.
Yeah. Well, there you go. See, you fixed it.
Yeah. And then run the All-Star race at Bowman Gray.
Or we could, do a demo derby or something. We can throw out all sorts of ideas.
We have a demo derby. It's called the Daytona 500.
That's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Atlanta's coming up too. We're gonna wreck a lot of cars over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, which is why we couldn't run a super speedway race for the Clash.
Right. Yeah, that's also true.
These cars are expensive. We added 2 super speedway races. We can't put another one in now. So.
Yep.
Anything else with the Clash worth discussing? I guess I do want to throw out a couple things here. First of all, Carson Hocevar, really impressive in the first half of this race. Obviously things got a little soured once the rain came, but looked really good. Ty Gibbs looked really good in this race.
He was trying like hell, man. Both of those guys trying, yeah.
What about Daniel Suarez? Do you think this is a sign of what we're going to see from Daniel Suarez this year?
My crack was Daniel Suarez beat all the Trackhouse cars.
Yeah. Well,
so
physically and,
Oh, yeah. He was fired up, man. Daniel Suarez was ready to go.
He was. I mean, he's fighting for his life, man. This is his last chance.
Is it. Yeah, this is probably it for him.
Yeah. I mean, he really has to do something this year to keep a Cup ride.
Yeah. Yep.
Because there ain't nowhere else to go.
No. Nowhere. Unless you want to be like a Ricky Stenhouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even that. It's not like there's a lot of openings right there.
There's not a lot of openings. Although, silly season this year is going to be good because we got a lot of free agents.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's going to be really fun.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, it could be fun.
It could be really fun.
Fun.
Shane Van Gisbergen looked pretty good in the wet especially.
Yeah, he looked he looked like he was going to win this thing for a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, you don't learn a lot at this race, but I mean, you learn a little bit. William Byron gets second place. Ryan Blaney was going through the field, finishes third. We mentioned Ryan Preece. I mean, he was a surprise last year, and who knows what they might be able to accomplish this year. Yeah. Good for RFK to get a win here when they've had trouble even making the feature in this race for several years. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah, huge.
Yep. Yeah. And then go ahead.
I was gonna say the for RFK the last chance qualifier was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Corey LaJoie was trying
almost made
to
it
get
in.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get the job done.
Dude, I am so back and forth with Corey LaJoie.
I'm not.
There's not been a driver that I've rooted against and rooted for more than that guy.
He has got to show us that he can do it.
But he's really fun in the underdog role, though. He really is.
Well, the problem is when he gets His problem is when he gets something underneath him that is more than he's ever had, he falters.
Well, his other problem is he's mouthy.
And he's mouthy, yeah.
You know, he does something well, and then he gets mouthy about it instead of just being humble. So it turns people off.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And
I think you know what? I just want to put a pin in that because Corey LaJoie and Ryan Preece aren't so different themselves when you think about their careers.
Yeah.
Preece was up and down and kind of all over the place and was pretty much done. And Corey LaJoie basically said the same thing. Like he thought he was done. And then this RFK opportunity showed up and, Preece, got that ride at Stewart-Haas. Tony kind of forced the hand to get him that seat. And, it was a bad situation for everybody because that team was having such a hard time. But it was enough to keep Preece out there. And I don't know, man, feel like he's proven some people right with how he's got this done. Like Brad gave him a chance and I don't know, it just seems like it really paid off for them. He can do this. He belongs here. He's proven that now.
Preece's career too is just, you look at, if you want a guy, like you got your Ty Gibbses and your guys with the names or with the money that come through and get the opportunities. Yeah. If you want a guy who has gotten here just on pure grit.
Well, that's, yes.
Ryan Preece is your guy. And he, I'm looking at his Wikipedia page because I wanted to go back to the history because I remembered, in 2017, he made that start with Joe Gibbs Racing in the 20 car at New Hampshire.
Yep.
And that's what led to him having these opportunities.
Yep.
Just part-time rides, but one of those, instead of taking the crappy ride and racing a full-time season, he pooled the money he had, ran a short part-time schedule with big teams.
Yep.
And look where he is, man. He's a NASCAR Cup Series winner.
It worked for Bowman. It worked for Chastain.
Yep.
And Ryan Preece is making it work now.
Yeah.
And, you nailed it when you said he's a gritty, kind of built himself up guy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that whole RFK stable is built that way. That's what Buescher did. And Brad Keselowski is one of the best examples of it.
Yeah.
Come from hometown, small team. And he's a perfect fit over there.
Just another reason to cheer for that team, man.
Yeah, and they're going to have, I would bet that Corey LaJoie makes the Daytona 500. I feel pretty good that he'll be good enough to make the Daytona 500. They're going to have 4 cars, that are going to be tough.
Yeah.
Tough to handle. So,
yeah, good stuff.
Yep.
17 cautions for 0 laps in this race because we didn't count caution laps.
Yeah, brutal.
Which was also a big mistake, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ryan Preece's best Clash finish previously was 7th in the 2023 LA Coliseum race. He's the 3rd driver to win the Clash before a Cup points race. Do you know who the other 2 drivers were, James?
I didn't. I kind of mentioned. I ruined this earlier. It's Hamlin and Gordon.
Yes, there you go. He started 18th, the lowest starting position of a Clash winner since Kevin Harvick won from 27th at Daytona in 2009. Sorry. 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 15 seconds was the time of race.
That was too
for 200 laps at Bowman Gray.
We got to get in and out under 2
50
hours.
miles, James. This was a 50-mile race, and it took us 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. There you go. Bowman Gray is in the rear view, but I do hope we do this again next year.
Give us one more try.
I think, I would really like to see this become, again, I'd like to see it become the All-Star race. I'd like to see the Cup cars race there, and I'd like to see a truck points race at Bowman Gray. I think that would be fun. Go back to the halfway break or whatever, or do ARCA there. I don't care.
Well, do what they did with Eldora.
Yeah, exactly.
Do that format.
We can do it.
Yeah, trucks can do it.
Yeah, and I don't think Xfinity needs to be here, or I'm sorry, O'Reilly. They don't need to be here.
That's $1 right there.
I know, right? I know. I'm going to be broke. But this is perfect for the trucks. Let's run a truck points race there. Obviously the modifieds are supposed to race with them. Let's get all the Bowman Gray classes out there and run with the All-Star race on a weekend. That would be so freaking cool.
I'm in.
That place would be rocking for sure. And props to the fans that still showed up to this thing 3 days later in the freezing cold and the rain and the sleet. I know the crowd wasn't great, but still pretty good for a delayed race like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So there you go. Bowman Gray in the rear view. Few news items this week, James, as I'm trying not to die over here.
Do you want me to take over for you? Want me to rip them off?
I'll start you here, and then we can. I don't know how much we're going to discuss all this stuff. Just a little stuff. Dario Franchitti making his return to NASCAR. He'll drive for TriCon Garage at St. Pete's in the Truck Series. How much are you looking forward to the St. Pete's race, James? Do you care?
I actually am looking forward to that, and I love that we're doing a race with IndyCar. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So.
I agree. I really like that track. I like it for the IndyCar series, so
the trucks will be good there.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the trucks there. And cool that the trucks get to run a street course. You know, they don't.
I have a hot take, man. You can take those trucks and you can put those bad boys on any circuit you want.
Agree, 100%. 100%, and I think they should. That's what we should do with them.
They can race on dirt. They can race on road courses. They can race on super speedways. Put them anywhere you want. Short tracks.
Yep. I will say that the iRacing hookup. I did turn some laps at Eldora in the truck. That was pretty fun. You remember that first race when we went out there and they went out for practice and everybody was spinning out like crazy? Yep. Very familiar with that feeling now. Very familiar. But I got the hang of it. I was doing all right. I didn't check lap times to see how close I was to their actual lap times, but it was interesting. It's a different deal, that's for sure. We talked about it last podcast, but it is now official. The Bank of America 400 is officially on the oval again at Charlotte Motor Speedway. No more Roval for the time being. Of course, it can always come back, but Marcus Smith was on the Dale Jr. download, talked with Junior a little bit. Well, not Junior. He talked to Kelly a little bit about it.
Yeah, Kelly was on that one.
Yeah, it's a good episode. Good listen. I mean, we
just two smart business people, I think, is the takeaway there too.
Yeah. We hashed this out pretty well last week, but I don't know. I mean, I miss the Roval, but there's certainly good arguments for why the oval is better. So it's good to see that they're making the change.
The Roval was special for that first couple of years.
Yeah.
Really, I remember making sure that my butt was on the couch for that first one. And over time it's just kind of lost its way. I think the car, really kind of, I think this car pretty much killed it.
Yeah.
Because this car is so good on a mile and a half. So I just think it makes more sense to do it on a mile and a half,
It's really hard to argue the Roval over the oval when the car is as good as it is on ovals versus road courses.
And I don't care that there's not a road course race in the chase.
Yeah, I don't care either.
That does not. I don't care. I really don't care. And it's part of the full.
The chase never had a road course race.
I don't care. Put one in there next year if you want to. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
You have to win a NASCAR Cup Series championship. You got to be really good on ovals. So make it that. I don't know. Well, whatever.
First of all, the crap that they did at Watkins Glen this year should hopefully be rectified next year.
Oh, that was one of the most disrespectful things they've ever done.
Yeah, very bad.
Yeah.
Corey Heim will run 12 Cup Series races for 23-11 this season. First one will be at Daytona, Kansas, Texas, Charlotte, Nashville, San Diego, Chicagoland, Indianapolis, Daytona again, Darlington, Charlotte, and Homestead for Corey Heim. Travesty that the Truck Series champion is not racing a full-time schedule anyway.
My word that I was waiting for, I thought about this earlier today, was it's a crime.
Yeah.
He should be in a full-time. He should be competing for a title somewhere, but
hopefully
he gets a lot of seat time this year with a bunch of different rides, and he'll be ready to go when he's ready next year.
Yeah. Make the best of it, Corey.
I don't like that he's losing a year of his, but that's okay.
Yeah. At least he's young.
He's a young buck. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
And also, let Connor Zillisch have his shine this year and then come and take all the glory next year. That's my thought.
There you go. And in the land of who the hell cares?
Oh yeah, here we go.
Drivers can no longer use their hands to manipulate the air during qualifying. No more Joey Logano holding his glove up to the window
his webbed glove
during qualifying. Are you? Come on.
Who cares? Jeez.
First of all, did Joey win the pole? I can't remember. Did he win the pole?
I think he did that year.
Who cares?
No, he couldn't have because Chevy always wins.
Right.
Yeah.
So who cares? What did it do for him?
Nothing.
So stupid. Why do we need another rule?
So we're going to be policing drivers all the way around the track with their hands on the window.
Ridiculous. Well, they do have cameras on every driver now, but
Wow, good luck.
come on. Like,
Who gives a rip?
this was not necessary. There's like nothing you can do to gain an advantage. This was one thing. And I guess maybe you could argue that you're taking a hand off the wheel, so it's less safe, but it's it's just stupid.
They're professional race car drivers. Let them.
They take your hand off the shift.
You said you had the quote earlier in this episode. We got to quit putting kid gloves on these guys.
Yep.
Drive the damn race car. However you see fit. You are a professional race car driver. Drive it.
Yeah.
God.
It doesn't matter, but this one just irked me.
Take their hands off the wheel to shift, for Christ's sake.
Exactly.
Yeah, now you got me mad. See, I wasn't mad. Now I'm mad.
Good.
Stupid rule.
I'm assuming that Brad Keselowski was cleared since this part of the notes?
Yes, he had an announcement a couple hours ago now, but he is cleared.
Nice.
He will be racing in the Daytona 500.
Good deal. I mean, we saw that coming, right?
Well, it was, from the sounds of it, he did not have any idea if he was going to make it until today. Huh. So, he tested a car at Charlotte and NASCAR cleared him this morning. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Give me that much better of a story when he wins it, huh?
Dude, I'm telling you, that would be cool. 8 weeks ago, he broke that leg. So he's, and I've broken some bones in my life, including one in my leg. And, it's a process, man. He's going to be hobbling around for a couple of weeks yet before he's walking even normal, I would say.
Yeah.
But he's done this before, man.
Yeah.
Remember he broke his ankle in that test crash?
Yep.
Was it VIR, I think?
No, it was Road Atlanta.
Yeah, that's it. And he won the championship that year. I think it was 2012, if I'm not mistaken. He got he went on a hot run, or maybe it was 2010, something like that. He was I can't remember the exact year, but he got hot. I remember he won Pocono with that bad boy all casted up. So
yeah,
he'll be fine. Brad knows how to drive.
Good stuff. I also didn't put in the notes, but we got word that Cletus McFarland is running the truck race at Daytona as well. I know
Travis Pastrana.
You're a big Cletus fan. I think we talked about Pastrana last week.
Did we talk about Pastrana last time?
Yeah,
well, they're on the same team.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Cletus is running it as well. Also honoring his buddy Biffle with his truck. I haven't seen if he has officially been cleared yet because this was all pending NASCAR approval, which I don't understand why he needs NASCAR approval. He's run 2 ARCA races on super speedways at this point. I've given up on this NASCAR approval process because it seems to depend on who you are and what NASCAR. I mean, first of all, NASCAR would be stupid not to let him race. They're already promoting the crap out of the fact that he's racing and all this stuff. So they need Cletus McFarland. So, but that'll be cool. See him in the truck. He's running the ARCA race as well. So yeah. Anything else? Any other news we missed, James, before we talk about our preseason predictions?
No, I'm skimming everything right now, and I think we covered quite a bit of it.
I apologize for the listeners if we seem disjointed and a little off kilter. I feel out of it. Feel like the flow's not going tonight, but we're powering through.
You know what, Eric? The flow is just fine.
Is it?
You're doing a great job. You're driving the show like you normally do.
Just trying to survive over here.
Hey man, Michael Jordan won a game in the NBA Finals with the flu. You can do this. You can get through. You can power through. I don't even feel
that bad. I just sound like crap and I keep coughing.
You're doing fine, buddy.
All right, preseason predictions, James. You pulled these off of last year. Did you swap these out, or are we in the same order as last year for picks?
We are in the same order as last year.
Okay, all right. That's how you.
I just kept everything nice and tight from 2025.
So we're keeping pretty much the same as last year. We do have adjustments, obviously, because there's no playoffs anymore. We have the chase now, so. But we always like to do our preseason predictions, and then we'll revisit them at the end of the year to determine how absolutely terrible we are at this. So that'll be the plan. First one up, James. Team to watch in 2026. I get first on this one. I thought about this. Who was I going with?
Do we need to describe team to watch? It's like the team that we think's gonna, I guess, level up would be the way I would say it. In the past, like teams that we've picked have been Spire, RFK.
Yeah.
teams like that, you know,
Okay.
teams that you maybe don't expect to win a whole bunch of races, but maybe, you know, maybe they're going to have a better year than you think. That's
Yeah.
team to watch.
Yep. So I'm going to make this choice probably 75% because of one driver and 25% because of another one. And I'm going with Trackhouse as my team to watch this year.
I had a feeling when you broke it down that way, I
Yeah.
thought, oh yeah, he's gonna.
So unfortunately for Ross Chastain, he's not one of my reasons for this. Although Ross Chastain certainly has potential as well.
Well,
But
he's gonna be he's gonna be a championship definitely a playoff driver for
Yeah.
sure. I think. Yeah.
there are no playoffs, James. He'll be a chase
Well,
driver.
I mean, you know what I mean. I'm sorry. I get to put a dollar in the jar
Yep.
now. Chase, he's gonna
Yeah,
be.
we're going to be
driver.
broke this year.
Oh yeah. We're in the hole already.
But I think Connor Zillisch is going to impress again in the Cup car. I don't know that he's going to do what he did in Xfinity. But I'm not putting a dollar in the jar because it was Xfinity last year.
It was.
But I do think he is going to be more impressive than what people expect. Everybody seems to think he's going to come in here and just be, you know, normal. And I think this kid's more talented than that. And I think the fact that we've got road course races that he can excel on too, in addition to the fact that he's good on ovals. And I think he's going to help level up. And I think the improvements from learning over the years, and I think it was emphasized on Wednesday, I think Shane Van Gisbergen is going to be more impressive this year than expected as well.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing that's going to hurt Shane Van Gisbergen is that he's going to have competition from Connor on the road courses.
Yeah.
And there's fewer road courses. But I think Shane's going to be more impressive on ovals this year. I don't think he's going to he may not win in an oval, but he's going to run well in ovals. And I think he's got a shot at making the chase because of how he's going to do all around.
I like that.
So, your team to watch, James. Who do you got?
Yeah, so I tossed around like a few ideas in my head, and I did want to. So last year I picked Spire, and I think Spire's on the map now.
I think so too.
I think people know what they're about. I think RFK's on the map now. I think I have higher expectations for them. So I was stuck between two teams, and one was the club, Jimmy Johnson Legacy Motor Club. I thought about that one, but actually I'm gonna go with a team that I think might have some positive vibes coming off of the offseason. And I expect I will say I think they're going to win a race this year. And I'm going to say Front Row Motorsports.
Nice. I knew where you were going.
And well, and here's why. And I'm kind of reaching back in the pack a little bit further. But man, I really, really like how Todd Gilliland and Zane Smith ran last year. Now, were they threats to win every week, and were they playoff contenders at that, last year? No, they weren't. But man, they had some really like flashy moments and some solid runs. And I think with everything that happened in the off season and the stability that they're going to have going forward, and I think the talent, I really, really think a lot of Zane Smith, and I think Todd Gilliland's a pretty good driver as well. So I think let's keep an eye on those guys and see if they can move up the board. Now they finished 27th and 28th in points last year. Can they get into the top 20? Can they push up that far? I think that might be a bit of a stretch, but man, if they can win a race and elevate themselves just a little bit more, I think that's an awesome season for them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that Todd Gilliland gets the credit he deserves for the talent that he is as a driver.
Yeah, he's been decent for a while.
Yeah,
in trucks too.
He didn't win. He famously didn't win for a while in the KBM truck, but I think that was circumstances more than ability.
Yeah,
he just I don't know. I think he's a better driver, and I think he amplifies the equipment he's in, and I think you're right. I think Front Row, almost floated under the radar with the lawsuit, but they've benefited from it as well, and I think are going to be in that positive mindset going forward as winners heading into the season.
Yeah.
And that could certainly drive some momentum for them.
Yeah, and we should mention that Noah Gregson's also on this team, and I know last year he's had a rough couple of years, but I wouldn't give up on that talent just yet.
Well, if his media day photo doesn't send him to victory lane. I'm telling you. Like,
well, we need. I mean,
if you haven't seen the photo, man,
yeah, I know
it's a good photo.
But man, if he can find a way, he's got such an out there personality. He would really, him and Carson Hocevar are, like, I guess like minded ish. I don't want to compare it. Noah's got a little, I want to be careful because Noah's got a little bit of a history,
right?
But he's a fun personality. So, I would say if he can get going, that would be really, really helpful. To the sport.
Speaking of Carson Hocevar, did you see his interview with Jeff Gluck after the Clash?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
See, talk about somebody who just did a great job of analyzing everything and just breaking it all down. Like Carson, man, I know he's goofy, but he also doesn't get the credit he deserves for his abilities, not just as a race car driver.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway, team to be leery about, James.
Yeah, the opposite, right?
Yeah, I don't think we need much explanation on what that means. Who's your team to be leery about in 2026?
Man, this is kind of the opposite of kind of where I went last year. But the news that Brad was coming back kind of almost spun me back in the right direction. I thought about RCR. I thought about a few other teams. But I think RFK. I'm a little worried about RFK, and it's not anything specifically that they're doing. More so, like, I feel like the talent in the teams in this field continue to elevate, and I worry that RFK can't keep up, or maybe they won't keep up. And I hope I'm wrong, and I'm saying this, I understand they're coming off a Clash win. They very well could go to the Daytona 500 and be really tough to beat.
Right.
But like when we get into the meat of the season, I'm just kind of worried. Brad broke his leg in the offseason. That's not, a good sign for the 16, but he is back. But I just like Spire's coming up. We saw good things from Legacy Motor Club towards the back half of last year. Ty Gibbs is starting to improve. That team's going to come up the board. So I'm just worried a little bit about how RFK can continue to have good success. I do think Chris Buescher is going to have to carry the load for them. So, and if he has some success, maybe that helps, but that's the team I'm a little leery about.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
So I feel like I should go with the low hanging fruit and go with RCR. Because I think they're in a transition right now, and I don't know what it's going to.
That's probably the better pick.
Well, I'm not going to go with them though.
Oh, all right. Well, Kyle Busch is a free agent too at the end of the year.
Well, they've also made some leadership changes at RCR, so who knows? Maybe that does something. But I think it's an easy pick. I do think that you could make a case, and by leery, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be absolute trash. It could just mean they're not going to be what you've experienced over the past few years.
You're just worried about, you're a little bit worried about them.
So
you're unsure.
I feel like I could almost put Penske in that category because I think the removal of the playoffs and back into the chase kind of switches up what they've been really good at over the last few years. That's allowed them to have championships and be in the running for those. But I'm going to go an even different direction, James, and I'm going to go with Kaulig as my pick.
Because
the Kaulig Cup program, they're going to have so much momentum in the truck series, but their Cup program is going to be such a they're going to have a stopgap right now.
Yeah, they're going to get hit hard. They've got no support.
Stay afloat until Dodge gets here. That's what their Cup program is. I don't expect much out of their Cup Series program this year, unfortunately. It's keep the charter alive, keep the team alive until we can bring Dodge in. And then things are going to change over there. I think you're going to see some major changes because they're going to have the backing to get what they need to really be a top team. But until that happens,
I think
2027 is the rumor, potentially.
Yeah, and I think they're looking at a 3 or 4 year bottoming out performance wise, and then they're gonna have to slowly build back up with Dodge.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, they're all in on this truck program.
Oh yeah,
That's
the truck
where
program. We're talking trucks, it's a whole different story.
they got the TV show going. They've got superstars coming in with their free agent truck. They've got all sorts of stuff.
You got Tony Stewart training on iRacing to get ready.
Tony Stewart's partnered with iRacing doing his thing. So
yeah.
Oh my God, he's coming back on Friday. It's gonna be great.
I know. I know. You're gonna be so excited.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
All right, one big gamble. And this can be a positive gamble, negative gamble. Just one big prediction.
Bet the house
for the season.
Bet the house to win big, baby.
I didn't really prepare for this one, so I'm gonna go with. A Legacy Motor Club victory. Is that enough? Is that enough of a gamble?
That's pretty good. I mean, they haven't won in a handful of years, so
I would go so far as to predict. Nah, I'm not going to predict a driver. I
think it's
Legacy Motor Club victory.
I think it's a large enough. Odds to be like, yeah, that's probably that's a big gamble.
Yeah. Okay.
That's large enough odds. Yeah.
All right, that's my pick then.
All right. Man, my big gamble. Holy smokes. You took the positive. Maybe you know what I'm going to do?
You can go negative.
I'm going to go negative. I think Connor Zillisch is going to struggle a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is going to be a harder season for Zillisch than people think. That being said, I think he can
like
probably...
that we're on opposite ends of the spectrum on this.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I will put an asterisk on this. I think he can win any road course, but I think the expectations are a little bit higher than what they should be. He's still a rookie, and we've seen flashy rookies come into the sport part-time and look really good. Ty Gibbs, a handful of others, but this season might be tougher than people think. I think he's not going to be the rock star right off the bat. Let's do that.
All right.
Let's do that as my gamble.
Just to be clear, I'm not predicting he's going to win. I'm predicting he has a chance at a win, but I'm just predicting that he's going to have a strong season and likely make the chase. And
I want to put another caveat on this because I think here you can tell, like,
you can't put up all these barriers.
I'm not. I just want to make sure it's on the record. I like Connor Zillisch, and I really think he's a good talent. I am simply saying this is not going to be a cakewalk. He is going to struggle.
Can I just say that as much as I think he's going to do well, I want to see him struggle for a year or two, because once it clicks, our sport might suck.
Yeah, he's got a chance to be like, Cole Trickle.
Yeah.
He's gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really believe in his talent, and he is an exciting race car driver. I'm really excited to have him in this sport, and I hope he sticks around for a while.
Me too.
Because he's so good. Who knows what the future holds for him?
Could run a couple years here and go off and do something else.
Maybe he's an F1 driver in a while. Who knows?
Especially with the Red Bull connection.
Exactly. So yeah, I want to see him do really well, but yeah, let's see what happens when he gets knocked on his butt a little bit, and that's what I think is going to happen. I think he's going to get knocked on his butt, and then who knows, man? Maybe he gets knocked on his butt for 15 races, and then he comes out and he's on fire, and that could happen too. But yeah, I think there's going to be a rookie learning curve for Connor Zillisch.
All right.
Watch him win the Daytona 500.
This actually hilarious.
You can tell that I am scared. And
I know you are really scared over this prediction.
Yeah, I know. I want to take a big gamble.
You're going on a limb. You're going on a much bigger gamble.
I wanted to take a big gamble. Let me take a big gamble.
Yeah. I almost feel like I cheaped out on mine, but
well, it's like I just signed the deed to my house and put it on black on the.
Yeah, you basically did.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So. Yeah, that's the way I feel. I think that's a testament to Connor Zillisch, though.
Yeah, it is.
Honestly, like I guys come along and they're talented like that.
Well, especially in the sport that we have right now, because it is so equal. It's so difficult to get ahead right now that to value somebody at that level already to where it could go either direction. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I think SVG broke my brain on that too, because he the way he's just dominated road course racing has just been spectacular.
I mean, I realized that Connor Zillisch was in the best equipment last year that he could possibly be in. Yeah. But look what he did in the Xfinity Series.
Oh, he was so good, man.
Justin Allgaier didn't do that in the Xfinity series.
I know. The fact that he doesn't have champion next to his name is such a black eye.
Travesty.
It's a travesty, yeah.
Especially now that the system's changed.
But
now,
you know
now
what,
that the system's changed, I can say
Yeah.
even more that it's complete BS.
You know what though, man? It's the best thing for him.
Yeah, 100%.
He's got a little bit of that on him. So I think that's going to pay off.
It won't even matter when he's got a couple Cup Series trophies in his cabinet.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Yep.
Pick 2 drivers that made the playoffs last year that won't make the chase in 2026. James, you get first pick. Let's do one at a time. So you get first pick.
Okay.
I'll do
one.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we able to keep the same drivers, or are we going opposite? Are we gonna?
If we choose the same person, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's only 16 drivers that we could pick from.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we automatically have to have 4, all
right.
Can't say for sure that 4 are falling out, but.
There's a couple of low hanging fruit guys
Mm-hmm.
that I think we're both going to consider. Let me go big on my first pick, because I think we're going to have some discussion on this. I think Denny Hamlin's coming out.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a tough year, and it's more so that injury seems to worry me just a little bit. But also there's a lot of things. There's red flags all over Denny, and I just want to. I have some concerns about his age, about his off season, and I don't want to put all that negative that happened on him, but I just think this is going to be a tough year. That injury really, when he came out and said he had that injury, that kind of spooked me. That's a long season to go if you're dealing with something like that. I think it's gonna bother him.
You realize that all of those things that are red flags are also potential motivation.
Correct. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's not a knock against Denny Hamlin's greatness. I just,
this should have been your one big gamble. This might be bigger than your Connor Zillisch one.
Yeah, it could be. I'm just worried that this is going to be a tough season for Denny. And sometimes when looking at the Super Bowl last night, there was a lot of warning signs that the Patriots haven't played anybody good and they're going to get their butt kicked. Yeah. I'm trying to take some lessons. You know what? I'm seeing some of these warning signs, man, and I don't like it. So I'll take instead of taking the low hanging fruit first, I'm going big. I think Denny Hamlin, of all the contenders, I think that's one of our contenders that's going to come out, because I think this is going to be one heck of a competitive season. I know that might be the complete opposite of how you're thinking about him, but
yeah, it could be.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, I don't know. I'll take the first low hanging fruit, and then I'll go with my less or more controversial one after. Low hanging fruit, I'm going Austin Dillon ain't making the chase this year.
He's not gonna. He's not gonna get enough points. He can't Richmond his way in.
No, Austin Dillon this year in the playoffs.
I agree with you. I'm not gonna pick Austin Dillon, but I agree with you.
All right, you got a low hanging fruit. Or you got one more that's gonna make me drop my jaw drop like.
I'm not gonna make your jaw drop, because who am I gonna kick out? It's tough, man. 16 drivers, it's not as many as you think it is.
Yeah, no, I know.
I think Josh Berry over trying to earn all these points over a full season is going to come out. I think Josh Berry's out.
Okay.
That's probably the lowest hanging fruit. There's one more driver I would have liked to have picked. I think you're going to pick him though.
Maybe. I think that the 2026 season is the anti Shane Van Gisbergen season. We have fewer road courses. We got rid of winning you're in. I know that Shane, and I know this contradicts what I said earlier about teams to watch. I do think Shane is going to do better on ovals this year, but I don't think he's going to do better enough to get the points that he needs to get into the playoffs. And maybe with the emphasis on winning the road courses, but again, we have fewer road courses now. I don't know. I'm going Shane Van Gisbergen as my pick.
He led the series in wins last year. He was one of the worst in average finish.
Yeah.
He was way down the list.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh no, he didn't lead the series in wins. Denny did, but he was second in the series in wins. He had 5 wins. And if you look at his average finish on the season, he's behind Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric, Todd Gilliland. He's behind John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Dillon, Eric Jones, Brad Keselowski. You think about how awful some of those seasons were. Brad didn't even make the playoff. Eric Jones didn't make the playoff. But Shane got in because of the, winning you're in. 7 top 10s and 5 wins. So he's got to find some balance. He's one of the lowest in lead lap finishes too of everybody who started all 36. So he's got to find the consistency on the ovals. And I think he's getting better.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Another one, I think Josh Berry is a great pick. I agree with you on that one. I'd be worried about Austin Cindric.
Yeah, he was the other one I was thinking about. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I'm worried about. It's hard to say because Hendrick is so good at building points without results, or being consistent without finishing up front. But man, I would be worried about Alex Bowman. And if Alex Bowman doesn't make the chase, I think you're going to see somebody else in that car.
Yeah, he had a good season if you think about like all the top 10s and that he had, but he just didn't get the higher end finishes.
Yeah.
And did you see my tweet during the clash? The Office in Office Space when they sit him down and they look at him and they go, what is it exactly that you do? That was what I posted about Alex Bowman because I'm starting to like it's prolonged now.
Yeah.
These issues that he's been having, and free agents are out there to be had.
Mm-hmm.
If Rick wants to go after a Tyler Reddick or Kyle Busch,
I was
for
just
example.
going to say Kyle Busch.
You know what I mean?
Can you imagine Kyle Busch going back to Hendrick?
I mean, I don't know. I think Kyle's got another Chevrolet spot. Maybe.
I think so too.
But
you mean a team that has a 1-year contract this year that has something to prove to keep that spot?
Yeah. So just a thought.
Maybe working out of his old building. I don't know.
Possibly. Yeah. So but I don't know if I'm Alex Bowman. This is big time season that you have to have here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. This is make it or break it for Alex Bowman. I think.
Yep. I agree.
Pick two new chase drivers, James. I feel like this is an easier one. Let's do the same thing. We'll alternate.
Okay.
I am going to hold on. Let me think. Who is my second? Okay. I have my 2. I am going to start with Carson Hocevar as my first.
That's a good
pick.
one. That's a good one.
He was very, very consistent last season at the end of the season. And I think he's going to be only improved this year. So
yeah, if he can dial it down just a little bit on the wrecks, some of the car issues he had. But yeah, that team's and we should have mentioned this. He just signed a long-term deal at Spire.
Yes, that is true.
He's going to be there a while. He's going to be there a while. So that's his seat. I think that's a brilliant move by Spire too.
Yeah,
to
lock him in.
Down. Yeah, don't let him get to Hendrick. Don't let him go anywhere.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's a great pick. I am cautiously optimistic that he'll make the playoff or the chase. Dang it, another dollar. I just think that he's so fast. He just has to hone it in a little bit. But yeah, I think it's a great pick.
All right, who's your first making it in? It wasn't in last year.
It has to happen this year. It has to happen for this guy. So I'm gonna put it in. Ty Gibbs. He has got to make the playoff or the chase. Dang it. He's got to make the chase. It's going to take me a while to get over this, huh?
Yeah.
But he really, I was listening to Jeff and Jordan, but also I looked at his second half stats for Ty Gibbs last year, and he had a really great second half of the season. And I think with the consistency of not having to win to make a spot, I think this is going to help Ty Gibbs. I'm a little bit worried about the infrastructure at Joe Gibbs with some of the changes that have been going on with some of the leadership. But that being said, Ty Gibbs is too good to continue to struggle. I really think he's going to have to make the chase this year. So he's got to get in. There's no way he doesn't make it in. He's got to.
And this is tough because there are so many that should be in this year.
Yeah. I mean, 16 is, like I said, 16 is not as many as you think when you look at all the talent that we've got in this series right now.
Yeah. This is tough because there's 3 RFK drivers to pick from. none of them made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I know.
And
I know.
I feel like at least one of them's got to go in.
Yeah, Busher, Brad, and Preece, right?
And
yeah.
I feel pretty silly picking Ryan Preece over Chris Busher, but I don't know. I like the performance this weekend. I like the momentum they've had, and so I'm going to go Ryan Preece.
So if you think of it this way, it's not crazy. So I'm looking at their stats side by side here. Who do you think led more laps last year?
Last year?
Without looking.
Yeah, I still feel Chris Busher, but I feel like you're going to say it's Ryan Preece.
It's Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece had the best, had more laps led. He was 2 less top 10s and 2 less top 5s, and his average finish was about a position and a half worse.
Yeah.
But he led more laps. And he had more lead lap finishes than Chris Busher. So if you're thinking of points and consistency, Ryan Preece might be pretty good. That being said, I think Chris Busher is a little bit better, but I think it's a good pick though. I think Ryan Preece can get in there. Yeah. If you think RFK is going to be pretty decent, then that's a good pick.
I think 2 of the RFK cars are going to be pretty decent. I'm worried
worried
about Brad. I think Brad's days are over as I
think you're right.
A contending driver.
That's right.
Which is fine. I mean, he's going to be a great team owner.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see how many more years he does it before he decides to open that seat up to somebody else, especially with all the prospects coming up. So, so who's your second pick?
There's so many drivers to choose from.
I know.
Man. There's Eric Jones.
Yeah.
We mentioned Chris Busher, Michael McDowell. If you like Michael McDowell,
is Kyle Busch really going to get shut out another year?
No, that's why I'm picking him.
All right, there you go.
He's got to make the chase.
Got to, right?
He's got to make the chase. I think the full season points will help Kyle Busch at least get into the top 16. I do believe Kyle Busch can get into the top 16.
If he doesn't, he had better get out of RCR.
Yeah, if
his career is ending if he does.
If we get to race, and if we get to race 25 or 24, and it's clear he's not going to make it, then he's got to go.
Yeah, there's got to be enough openings this year for him to go somewhere else, right?
He's got to go after one more top tier ride, one more time. He's got enough years left to do it.
Take the pay cut if you have to.
I don't know, man. He could do it.
Does he care?
I mean, does he care more? What does he care more about? Is probably the question.
Brexton's 10.
Yeah.
You know, Brexton's getting to that age. He's not quite at that age yet. He's not at the Keelan Harvick age.
But
he's getting there.
Not to go off track, but he's also in a very high profile lawsuit over a lot of money being taken from him. So what matters more?
Denny Hamlin was in a high profile lawsuit last year and almost won the championship. So.
Yeah, you know what? Yes. But also Denny Hamlin, that's a really good one. But also Denny Hamlin is coming at it from an owner's perspective. Kyle is a driver trying to sign contracts.
And also Denny Hamlin lost the championship.
In a spectacular fashion. Yeah. Not of his doing.
That's true.
He was there.
That's true.
So yeah, I just think Kyle Busch makes it in. He's got to.
I hope so, man. I
think too highly of him, man.
Who will be the first driver to win their first race this season, James?
Oh man, we got a lot of candidates here, don't we?
And
I get the first pick.
You get the first pick, and you could pick Ryan Preece because he technically hasn't won a race yet.
Well, here's the drivers you can throw out there. So Preece, Gibbs, Hocevar, Nemechek, Zane Smith, Todd Gilliland, Zillisch. That's about it, I think. Gregson, maybe. I don't know. Or if you want to, you could say Corey Heim. I feel like I can't take Zillisch after what I did on my gamble, though.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna back up what I said when I said chase drivers. I'll kind of parlay this. I'll take Ty Gibbs.
Okay.
Because it's got to happen, right? If it doesn't happen, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I gave you the top choice.
Yeah. Well, the reason I'm picking Connor Zillisch, as you see me typing in the notes, is because I pulled up the schedule, and
Coda's right there.
Yeah, Coda's right there. Coda's so early in the season.
Yeah.
Obviously, anything can happen at Daytona. Anything can happen at Atlanta. But once you go to Coda, you got to imagine Connor Zillisch is going to be the top
If
guy.
he wins COTA, we need to pull the audio clip of me,
right?
of me like backpedaling on my big gamble.
Yeah.
I feel like I couldn't pick him after that. So.
How big of a check mark, star, circle, asterisk, whatever, do you think Kyle Busch has on COTA? Because that was his race last year.
It was his race last year. I think Ty Gibbs has that one circled too, because he's been really good there too.
And then obviously Shane Van Gisbergen. So
and SVG is going to be well. He's won what 5 road courses in a row now, right? So
yeah. And you've got Daniel Suarez. I mean, there's that race, man. That could be a really good race this year.
I'll throw Byron in there too.
Yeah,
that one's good there. Reddick,
Christopher Bell. I mean, you got a lot of guys. But
Ross
you got a lot of
there.
guys that this could really matter for, too. Man, I'm almost excited about COTA.
Oh, man. The Trackhouse guy. The Trackhouse boys are going to come fully loaded.
I would never say that with the old layout, but this new layout, I am excited about.
The new layout's good. Yeah.
Yeah, very excited about it. All right. With that, what will be the best race of 2026? God, I really get first pick on this, huh?
This is always a tough one.
You know what? Daytona doesn't matter anymore.
I've got one picked, and if you take it, I'm going to be mad.
I'm going to probably pick it. I'm going to say the new one, James.
Oh.
The Charlotte Oval.
Oh.
In the fall. I'm going to say the Charlotte playoff race is going to be.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I thought about it.
All right.
I'm going to take another new oval.
Yeah? North Wilkesboro?
Nope.
Ooh.
Chicagoland.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
I think that could be a lot of fun.
I think it's going to be a really good race, but the problem with Chicagoland is it's just there's nothing special about it.
Yeah, but they haven't been there yet either.
That's true.
Which makes always makes me curious. I also thought about San Diego. I did think about it. Now I'm not a huge street course guy.
I don't think it's going to be a competitive race.
No, but it's going to be an event, which I think is going to be kind of fun.
It will.
So that's why.
What will be the bigger event, San Diego or the whatever the American 400 or whatever thing IndyCar is doing, 250? What the hell are they calling it?
I don't. The Freedom 250 or
Freedom
whatever
250. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You think that happens?
I don't know, man.
I don't think it's gonna happen, man.
I don't want to talk about that.
All right, we'll move on.
You're dragging me into a place I don't want to go.
What will be the worst race of 2026, James? Will it be the Freedom 250?
I said the championship last year, and was that the worst race? I don't know, but it definitely led to some change. I'll tell you that. And the worst race, jeez, I don't know, man.
Is there even a bad race on the schedule?
If I say North Wilkesboro, are people going to be mad at me? I really like North.
I don't know that North Wilkesboro is going to be.
North
Wilkesboro is not going to be a thrilling race. Well, let me say that.
We got more horsepower, and it should be a better race. So I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
You got to imagine it's going to be tire wear. There's going to be a lot of lap traffic. I think the racing will be interesting. It's going to be different.
Yeah. I love the schedule this year.
I really do too.
I really do.
I have my pick though.
Oh man. I don't even know what to pick now. I
have two.
Put me down for Martinsville 1.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a bad pick because Martinsville hasn't been spectacular.
Yeah, I am holding out hope that the horsepower does matter. I just don't know if it's going to. So I'll take Martinsville 1.
All right. So I'm going to start with my honorable mention. This is not my pick, but it's a good
an outside
choice.
Looking in, an OLI.
Yeah. So I will say the All-Star race at Dover. I don't have high expectations for that race.
Dang it, Eric. That was a good one.
I'm very worried about what that race is going to be. I hope it's good because, first of all, I think Dover fans deserve to have a good race. And maybe they can find something that works there that, improves it. Maybe they'll make a last minute announcement that they suddenly put asphalt down and now the track is amazing. But I don't have high expectations for that. But my pick is going to be Sonoma. And my reasoning for that is road courses haven't been great. Shane Van Gisbergen's made a stink out of them. And it's also the second road course in a row because we're going to San Diego the weekend before. So I'm going to go Sonoma as my pick.
Okay.
Which is disappointing because I really do like Sonoma. But this car just isn't good.
I almost said Watkins Glen too, but I don't want to do that to them.
Yeah, no, same.
Yeah.
And Watkins Glen, I don't know, something about that track is just it's more of a NASCAR road course, you know?
Yeah.
High speed. I don't know. But And finally, who will be our I can fill you in. I don't even need to ask you this question.
You already know.
Who will be our 2026 champion? And James, why are you picking William Byron?
Well, I picked the champion last year. I said Kyle Larson, so I was pretty happy about that. I think actually there's another driver that I
Ooh, are you
have
gonna go somewhere else?
No, I'm gonna say Byron.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Byron.
I figured.
I just think the full season's gonna work really, really well for him. He leads a lot of laps. He finishes really well. He doesn't have to pile up wins, which has been a little bit of an issue for him. He gets hot and cold sometimes, but last year he stayed fairly warm, I'll say. He never really bottomed out. And he kept leading a ton of laps. So I just think William Byron's going to be up front a lot. I think he's going to rack up some points, and when it comes down to the 10 race playoff chase, another dollar in the jar, dang it. He'll be primed and ready. I do think William Byron's going to do it. Now, that being said, I really like Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I think he's going to be even better, and that scares me. I think he's going to be tough to handle this year. And he is racing for a contract as well. So
that's true.
Put that out there. He's a free agent. I think Jeff and Jordan said he has a team option though. So
he won't be a free agent.
He's not going to. No, I mean, who are you going to get? That's not Chase Briscoe.
He's not going anywhere.
He's pretty.
JGR is going to give him what he wants, and he's going to stay at JGR.
Man, I tell you, man, last year I was so happy to see the success that he found last year. You know, it was just one of those guys that I think you feel the same way, but just believed in his talent and thought 100%. He could really have some success. And what he did in that 14 car all those years, just dragging that team with his ability. And now he's got a second year with JGR, and he's probably, I don't want to discredit Bell. He's probably the lead dog there, but Bell's pretty good. They kind of got two lead dogs. I think now as you look into the future, right? Those are two really good.
We're talking about the future because it's not.
Those are two. Well, they're younger guys, and they've got longevity, right? So I really like Chase Briscoe this year too.
He'll have an extended contract by May.
Yep. But yeah, I still think
can't let him go anywhere.
I think it's Byron this year. I really do.
I mean, if you were going to build a championship format for William Byron, it probably would be the current format. Maybe you'd go 36 race, but it is a good championship format for him.
I think you think about Hendrick Motorsports here too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be tough. You know, they know how to win.
However, you also know who I'm going to pick.
Yeah, I think I do.
And I'm going to pick him for the same reason that you said he's not going to make the playoffs. or the chase, because now I just did it too.
You're going the complete opposite direction.
I am going to go with Denny Hamlin as my 2026 champion. One of these years, he's going to win the championship or he's going to retire because it has to happen, right? So I'm going Denny Hamlin as my pick for the champion this year.
You know, as I was talking about him earlier, do you think my hesitations were valid?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's the same thing. I think the thing with me is that I think of Denny and him fighting through adversity. And I think of the motivation that it can give him. Now, I certainly have some concerns with how defeated he was at the end of the season. And then that more bad stuff has happened since the end of the season.
And Gabe Hart has left the organization, which I think is notable. I think that's notable.
I am scared about all that stuff. But I also feel like when he gets in the car and puts the helmet on, none of that's going to matter. It's just going to be motivation. And we talk about gritty drivers, and we talk about drivers that can put things on their shoulders and carry them places. And I do feel like Denny Hamlin is one of those drivers.
Yep.
And I still, you know, it will be disappointing to me. And I've been a fan of Denny Hamlin's, and I've been a hater of Denny Hamlin's over the years. So this is not me saying this as somebody who's been a lifelong fan of Denny Hamlin by any means. But I think it will be a huge disappointment if Denny Hamlin retires without a Cup Series championship. Is that a problem? No, because I think it's a huge disappointment that Carl Edwards doesn't have a championship. I think it's a gigantic disappointment that Mark Martin doesn't have a championship. That happens. But it will be a disappointment if he doesn't win a championship. He deserves a Cup Series championship.
Yep.
Does it say anything bad about his career if he doesn't get one? No, hell no. He's got so many Daytona 500 trophies. You know, I mean, the guy's done everything but win a championship.
Yep. And unfortunately, championships they're not a lifetime achievement award.
Right.
You have to go out there and earn them. And Denny came as close as you could to.
Well, especially when the last 10 years has been more of a lottery than an actual championship too.
Yeah.
You know, so that also affects things. Again, not arguing that we've had any undeserving champions during that time, but I will agree, despite liking that format, that it's less legitimate than what we've had in the past. So,
yep.
But I don't know. I like Denny Hamlin. I think it's hard to bet against William Byron. If you had to hold a gun to my head, I'd probably pick William Byron too. I just want to be different, and I want Denny to get a championship. I really do. Even if he pisses me off this year and I hate him halfway through the season, I still want him to get a championship.
Yeah.
So you get guys like Jimmy Johnson that just won and won and won. And then, I mean, Denny lived through that time period. Like, Jimmy Johnson is one of the reasons Denny Hamlin doesn't have a championship. Well, and wrecking on the backstretch when he had a chance at the championship.
Unfortunately for Denny, he's been in the era of
worst possible era.
Yeah, well, he lived through Jimmy. He lived through Smoke. He lived through 3 Logano championships, 2 Larsons,
2 Kyle Bushes,
2 Kyle Bushes on his own team.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
that's tough.
So there you go.
All those guys are worthy champions.
Yes.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Oh, people would get mad about Joey, but
no, Joey's a worthy champion.
Yeah. Well,
I think
he's
a worthy 3-time champion. Come on, Joey Logano is a hell of a race car driver. He's a Hall of Fame driver.
Can we assign championships? Like, if you've gotten 3, can we take 2 of them away and give one to somebody else?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Well, there you go. There's your 2026 predictions. You can guarantee that 90% of those will be wrong. So don't get too excited and start buying your William Byron or Denny Hamlin championship gear just yet, because James and I are pretty bad at this. So,
yeah, I got it right last year.
Yeah, one of them.
Yep.
All right.
Once in a while.
Before we move on to our Daytona preview, checkered flags, black flags. James, you got any checkered flags this week?
Yeah, just kind of a shout out.
Okay.
Brad Arnold of Three Doors Down passed away.
Yeah.
Which kind of bothered me a little bit because I listened to Three Doors Down as a high school kid.
I didn't know he had cancer.
Yeah, I knew he had cancer. I didn't know how well he was doing. And the post came out on Saturday, and it was like,
yeah,
that sucks. But I've been listening to a lot of their music lately. But it has a NASCAR tie. He was good friends with Dale Jr.
Yep.
And had him and Tony Stewart in a music video, and then also he was on some race cars a handful of times.
That Tony Stewart Busch car.
Yep.
Is
Three
one
Doors
of the
Down at Michigan.
best paint schemes ever in history.
Should have won that race, by the way, but the rain came. And then he was on Dale Jr. twice. He was on the Budweiser car once, and then Dale Jr. raced the Gray Ghost.
Yeah.
And people don't really remember that was for the Citizen Soldier Foundation, which was from Three Doors Down, and that was the time that Dale wanted to run the Gray Ghost twice. The time he actually did run it was he had Three Doors Down on the hood. So kind of a NASCAR tie, and something that kind of bothered me a little bit when he passed, just because, man, I've listened to their music so long. I kind of gotten away from listening to them for over the last few years, but it's kind of re-entered my life.
Yeah.
Over the last few days, I've been listening to a lot of it. So anyway, rest in peace to Brad Arnold, one of the voices of my youth, man. So wanted to give that checkered flag today to him.
It's a good one. Three Doors Down, real good band.
I love, man, their early stuff was so good. Just really good stuff.
2 chances in the same year to see him live for free, and I didn't take either chance.
Oh man, I saw him twice.
I had a chance to see him at Michigan, but it was starting to rain. That was the rain year, and so we didn't make the trip over to the parking lot to watch him. So I missed him there. And then they were at the Midland County Fair, and I was working for the radio station, and I left to go do a street team thing instead of staying for the concert, and I should have stayed.
Yeah, I saw him twice.
The rest of the people from the radio station who stayed for the concert got to hang out in the bus with him afterwards. So
Brad always did a cool thing when he was when he would talk to the crowd in the concert. He would always call everybody his friends. So he would say, "My friends," and then he'd go into he'd talk about whatever, and then he'd go into the next song. But it was always "my friends." Thank you, my friends. Thank you for being here, friends. So I always thought that was kind of cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
My checkered flag, of course, is iRacing related because why not?
That's all it's going to be all season.
Yeah, all season long. I apologize to everybody. I'm not sponsored, but maybe they should. Anyway, the iRacing season for the Cup Series was at Richmond this past week, and they gave us a patch before the Richmond race, and the patch included the new short track package. So I got to experience the new short track package in the Cup car, 700 horsepower or 750 at Richmond without the diffuser on the back, and it was pretty fun. It was good to see. I mean, I can't compare it to anything because I've never driven the old car there, and obviously it's just a video game, but it's still pretty cool that they took that step this early in the season to give us the opportunity. We were all kind of surprised when we showed up to the race and there were no diffusers on the cars, and they had a little bit more horsepower. So very cool. Good job for iRacing for doing that. So good stuff. They also switched the Xfinity series over to the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. So
nice.
Yeah.
Are we going to be? It's just going to be O'Reilly series, right? We're just going to shorten it to O'Reilly series.
I don't know. We're going to put it. Apparently, the acronym is no wraps. So
yeah, nobody's using no wraps. I think it's going to be O'Reilly series.
Yeah, I assume it's going to be. I assume it'll be O'Reilly series and O'Reilly, as we've called it, Xfinity.
Or I can't even say it. I was going to say O'Reilly. I can't even get it out of my mouth.
That's funny.
This is going to take a long time.
This excited is worse about the fact you can't pronounce it.
Yeah, I know. I can't even get playoff and chase right. So,
right.
But this is worse than when Nationwide took over for Busch. That was the hardest one for me. I couldn't get.
Did I see that somebody's really trying to push the bringing back of the Grand National?
They should.
Keep seeing people call it the Grand National Series. I wish they would.
They should call it the O'Reilly Grand National Series. I'd be happy about that.
I like that. So,
or we could just say Grand National Series. Thank you, O'Reilly, for your sponsorship. We're going to call it the Grand National Series.
Right. I always said Truck Series, Grand National Series, Cup Series. That's what they should be. Done.
Exactly.
Yep. I never understood why we got rid of Grand National and the Busch Series back in the day. So, black flags, James. Any black flags for you this week?
Can I give it to Kid Rock? Or
yeah, sure. Go for it.
No, I'm not going to do that.
All right. You can give it to... don't be political. Give it to Kid Rock for lip syncing, because that was stupid. Yes,
for lip singing. What a boob.
Yeah.
No, actually, my black flag, just the weather.
Yeah.
Can we just not... I don't want to ever... I don't want to do that again. The weather. Okay. But shout out to everybody who put a lot of work in at Bowman Gray, but god dang the weather. And I'm sick of... You know what? Black flag to the weather down there, and I'm sick of the weather up here.
Yeah.
I'm over this, and I know it's warming up a little bit this week. Thank God.
I don't know. Is it freezing rain yet? Because it's supposed to be freezing rain tonight.
I don't know, and I'm tired of this. If
they cancel school tomorrow, James, I'm gonna be so mad.
They better not, dude. We can't. I can't.
Can't have the kids.
It's not supposed to rain here, is it?
I think so. We're in the freezing rain area.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But if it's not doing it yet, I think we might be good. I don't know.
Oh my God. It's supposed to be. It's 25 right now, so I don't know. I don't know anymore. I'm over this.
Well, I told you and everybody on social media who my black flag was this week. So I'm gonna go for it. I already hinted at it earlier. My black flag already, before the season has even officially started, is Fox.
Oh my God.
For cutting away and moving the broadcast of the race to Fox Sports 1 and their crappy app, which they couldn't even tell you what app to use because they've got 3 different apps, none of them which do the same thing. And for doing that with 75 laps to go and screwing up my DVR. So, and then not only that, but they have their crappy app, but they don't put the replay on the app. So you can't watch the race that you missed at all. It's just gone, not out there. Now they did an air replay later on Fox Sports 1. Great. I already knew who won at that point and whatever. As I'm watching the DVR recording, I'm skipping through all the delays and I'm watching the time at the end and how close I'm getting to. And it's like, I know this is going to cut off and I'm going to be so pissed. And then when I see I was totally prepared to be pissed at YouTube TV because they don't let you extend the recording, right? And then the pop-up comes up on the screen that they're switching to a different channel. And I just immediately, I was ready. I only posted a couple times on social media. I was ready to just blast Fox to the moon over this one. And then I listened to the teardown today, James.
Yeah.
And Jordan and Jeff tried to make me feel bad for Fox. They tried to give them some grace, saying that, they're already there on a Wednesday. The Masked Singer is very important to the channel, blah, blah, blah. So here's the deal. On October 10th, 2025, James.
Okay.
Major League Baseball had a playoff game between the Detroit Tigers and the Seattle Mariners.
Okay.
It went 15 innings, almost twice the length of a regular baseball game.
Yep.
Guess what network broadcast that game, James?
Oh, was it Fox?
It was on Fox. Guess what time Fox cut away from that broadcast to move it to Fox Sports 2? Never. They never did. Stop telling me that this is okay. They only do it to NASCAR. They don't cut football off. They don't cut baseball off. They cut NASCAR off. If they can't air the damn thing, then put it on Fox Sports 1 to begin with. Stop pulling this crap. I'm so freaking tired of it. Act like you care, Fox.
I was going to say, I wanted to put a scenario on there for you. Like, is the fourth quarter and your Bears are driving for a touchdown and Fox would cut away to the Masked Singer. They would never do that to the NFL. Ever.
No, they wouldn't.
Ever.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They'll preempt local news, everything. They don't care for Major League Baseball. I mean, it was the clinching game in the playoffs, but still, that's beside the point. I almost just said the F word. All right, I'm going to move on before I start cussing.
It's time to be done.
Yes. James, Daytona is here. It's Daytona week.
We are here.
The
season is here.
We are only a day away from cars on the track.
Oh my God.
I mean, a little more than a day, but a day away from cars on the track. So here's your schedule for this week. I don't have everything in here, but just so you know, Cup
Close
qualifying. Cup cars are practicing early Wednesday, but 8:15 p.m. Fox Sports 1 is Cup qualifying. The duels are on Thursday, 7 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. These are all Eastern time, by the way. Craftsman Truck Series kicks off their 2026 season with a Fresh from Florida 250 Friday, 7:30 p.m. Fox Sports 1. Tony Stewart, Travis Pastrana, Cletus McFarland. All those guys are going to be racing in this race.
Yes.
Super excited. Tony Stewart prepping big time. Speaking of which, my shout out for iRacing. Very cool that iRacing put out the promo today of Tony Stewart training for the race with his spotter, TJ Bell, working on iRacing at Daytona. And no, James, I did not get to race against him. I think they were in private lobbies.
I was only hopeful.
I know. I'm not good enough anyway. I'm not high enough in the split. I'll end up not in the races with those guys. But eventually, someday it'll happen.
Someday.
ARCA. I put ARCA on here because, first of all, Cletus is racing. Second of all, it's such a big deal they're putting it on Fox. The Daytona ARCA 200 Saturday at noon on Fox. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series kicks off its season with the United Rentals 300 Saturday 5 p.m. on the CW. And the Cup Series takes the green flag at the Daytona 500 Sunday 2:30 p.m. on Fox. And so far, the forecast looks good for this weekend. But it's Daytona. If anybody knows what Florida's like this time of year, don't worry about the forecast anyway. So there you go. Daytona this weekend. James, you get the first pick for the Daytona 500 winner for 2026. You do.
Oh my God.
And now I have to remember who I was going to pick.
You know what? He's come close enough. And I want to take Brad, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take Ryan Blaney.
Okay.
He's sniffed the finish line here a couple of times, and he's got that wicked mustache. It's going to make him extra aerodynamic. So, yeah, Ryan Blaney.
Hold on. I got to remember who that guy was going to pick.
I've
completely lost. Forgot who I didn't write it down.
Was it Preece? Was it Busher?
No, I don't think so.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Oh. Who was I going to pick?
Was it Byron for the three-peat?
No, I hope it's not Byron.
The two-time defending champ?
I don't remember.
Was it Hamlin?
No, I wasn't going to go all in on Hamlin. I don't remember who it was. But I'll tell you what, I am going to, instead of that, I'm just going to take somebody I'd like to see win it and who will have a good shot, and it'll be a hell of a story because it's a hell of a story anytime he wins a big race. Won a big one last year, so why not win this one? Let's give it to Bubba Wallace.
Oh, wow. Okay. That would be huge.
Be fun.
Famously finished second here once.
Yeah, real close.
Yep.
Real close. A couple times.
Yep.
So there you go.
Man, wouldn't it be cool if Blaney and Bubba were duking it out? I
That
saw
would
they
be
were
fun.
on the plane together as with their kids.
Yeah.
Flying
Yeah, that was a
flying
really
boys.
cool picture. I like that. That was pretty
Yeah.
neat. Dadding it up.
Man, Blaney's mustache makes me want to root for him even more.
I can't decide whether I'm embarrassed for him or in
No, it's
awe
cool.
of him.
No, if you have that kind of confidence, you should definitely.
My mustache is not very long and it tickles my nose. How can he handle that?
Oh, he's got special products for that.
My
He can handle it.
God.
He's a real
It's
man.
It's
He can handle
magnificent.
it.
How many times are we going to gloat about his mustache before it?
Oh,
just-
every episode until he shaves it. Yeah.
yeah. There you
Because
go.
he'll do the full beard thing by the end of the season.
Probably, yeah.
But that mustache, though, wow, man. Epic.
We're just jealous. That's what it is.
I just wish I could. I just wish I had the confidence. I could do
Yeah.
it. I just wish I had the confidence. I shaved the other day, and I was like, Blaney wouldn't have done this. I actually thought that.
That's
Blaney
funny.
wouldn't have done this.
That's hilarious.
Oh man.
I can't pick Kyle Busch again this year. I really want Kyle to win this thing, but
Yeah, I would like a legacy guy to do it
yeah.
one of these times. But
Yeah, it's time for one of those guys that's been trying for years to do it. We
yeah,
haven't had that Dale Earnhardt, Darrell Waltrip moment in a while.
yes, we need a Brad. We need a Kyle.
Yep.
We need one of those.
Brad would be a hell of a story, having to
Larson's
clamor
getting
out
into
of his
that.
car.
Larson's been around long enough where I'm
Yeah.
starting to be like, yeah, maybe Larson needs to get this thing done.
What about Chase Briscoe?
Briscoe would be a fun one. He's good.
I mean,
He'll
he's
be
not
good.
one that's a legacy driver for it, but Chase Briscoe would be a good pick for this.
He'd be a fun one to pick. Yeah, he'd be a fun one
you
to
got
get it
guys
done.
like you got guys like Todd Gilliland who could sneak in there.
Zane Smith could do it.
Zane Smith, Connor Zillisch.
Yeah, I want to see somebody with some clout do it.
Yeah.
We've had the last 2 years. I mean, Byron's getting there. He's been a championship contender. So,
Yeah,
yeah, we haven't had the wild card in a minute. So
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
James, you got any fantasy league deets for us?
No, I posted it on our Facebook page. I posted it on X, so it's out there. If you want to join up, it's the Super Speedway on NASCAR.com. But if you click the link on our Facebook page, it'll take you right there.
And our Facebook page is facebook.com/thesuperspeedway. If we are already on it last year, do we have to do anything, or is it just
Nope. If you were on it last year, you should roll right into it. Just log into your NASCAR.com account. Todd, make sure you do it early.
Yeah,
this year.
right. Yeah.
I tried to recruit a few more people to join the league. We'll see if they do. I don't
All right.
think they will.
I have to try and think. There's a few people that I've run across recently. I need to get in there.
As the defending champion, come take me out.
Yeah. Please,
Come
anybody.
eliminate the big-
Please
yeah,
do it.
beat the big dog.
Yeah, big dog. I don't know about that.
Listen, we know how this is going to go. It's going to frustrate me immensely. I'm going to finish first or second, and then we're going to move on to the next.
We're going to
season.
talk all year about how much we hate fantasy league, and James is going to be so stressed out about it by the end of the year because he really
Yep,
does
because
care
I
about
want
it.
yeah, because I'm in the fight again.
Yeah.
I'm always in the fight, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah. And I won't be at all. I don't
Eric
have
will be
anything to worry
seventh.
about. Yep.
I'll be in
place.
first or second. Eric will be in seventh,
Yes.
and we'll continue on.
Yep. It doesn't matter how many people sign up. We could have 7 people or we could have 40 people. I'll still be in 7th.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, yeah.
James, if people want to hit you up on social media before the 500 or maybe even during the 500, how can they do that?
Oh yeah. Do it on X or Instagram. James Cush.
I am at T Super Speedway on X, at eyoungdbm on Facebook, Instagram, everything else pretty much. I will not be posting live during the 500 because my kids have 2 hockey games that day in Tawas. So I'm going to be sitting at lunch while everybody else is eating pizza, trying to watch as much of the race as I can in between hockey games. So I am one that would not mind a rain delay to Monday for the 500.
Yeah, we do have the weather, don't we? Again, see?
Yeah, so
Black flag. Wow.
But Facebook, as I mentioned, facebook.com/thesuperspeedway. Our podcast is on thesuperspeedway.com. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, Audible, and iHeartRadio. Wherever you found us this week, subscribe for new episodes each and every week, especially now that the season is rolling. Didn't hear any feedback other than from James about the cover art, but I was pretty happy with the
Love
cover art this year.
Yeah, I like the cover art.
Speaking of Denny Hamlin. So there you go. James, the NASCAR season is finally getting underway this weekend. We head to Daytona. Well, we don't. Everybody else does. Lots of racing this week. We'll be back next week to break it all down. Until then, everybody, let's go racing.